Now, the other day, Divya showed me a demo, and this was using, the Azure OpenAI. I think this was 4.0. I think it was the 4.0 model,
Hmm.
and so this was one of those things where you can now, and she had basically three actions. She had the HTTP request,
Hmm.
she
Wow.
had the Azure OpenAI chat completions action, and then she had a response. And it was one of those things where she was going ahead and kind of doing exactly what we had done before, but she was doing it in three actions, and she was doing no training. So she was using pictures of different like landscapes or flowers or whatever, and basically asking questions about this.
Hmm.
And this is this idea of a general, LLM
Hmm.
that sort of is available to everyone.
Yeah.
And so it reminded me of that time like 5 6 years ago, where there was another use case in the Power Platform. Actually, a local company at the time had built this. They were a pipeline company, and they were very concerned about vegetation.
Hmm.
And so what they would have is like these their sort of field technicians would have to be very careful about the vegetation growing in around their pipeline. And sometimes you'd have things like poison ivy and other poisonous plants.
Hmm.
And so they had responsibilities to like remove that, and obviously their people had to be careful. And so what they used to do is have a binder full of images, and they'd have to like hand out tens or if not hundreds of these binders to their field technicians that were maintaining their pipeline, and go out and have to like flip through pages to go see this.
Hmm.
They built a power app kind of based on the same idea, with that would say like, hey, this plant is like poisonous or not. But once again, they had to do all of that training. Whereas like nowadays, like this is sort of embedded into these general models itself. And so there's so many applications for this
Hmm.
when you think about like manufacturing, health and safety. We saw one at Integrate. Mick Badron did one about healthcare.
Yeah.
Like, and so pretty phenomenal in terms of like, hey, this is just general knowledge now.
Yeah.
This is not something that you have to specifically train. And obviously, there's avenues to go do more specific training for your own data sets if you want.
Hmm.
But this idea of like, how simple this has now become, and how intelligent these things have
Hmm.
become is pretty impressive.